There's a specific kind of tired that doesn't come from doing too much. It comes from not knowing who you are when you're not doing anything. You know the feeling. You finish something, a project, a call, a long week, and instead of landing somewhere, you immediately start looking for the next thing. You open your laptop before you've even closed the last tab. You make a list on your day off. You check your email app, not because anything urgent is there, but because fully stopping, feels like something you haven't quite figured out how to do, and you're tired. But you don't stop. From the outside, you look like someone who has it together. You're the one who delivers, who follows through, who never needs reminding. People describe you with words like reliable and driven, and you accept that because those words are true and also because they're the version of yourself that makes the most sense to other people. But there's a quieter thing underneath it. If you're honest on this is the part that's slightly uncomfortable to look at, the busyness isn't just ambition. Some of it is. But some of it is also that being busy is the only time you feel like being here is justified. At some point, the work stopped supporting your identity and started replacing it. And once it's identity, stopping isn't rest. It's loss. You sit down on a Sunday with nothing scheduled, and within about 15 minutes, something in you starts to itch. You get up and organize something that didn't need organizing. You answer an email that could have waited until Monday. You open an app to check. You're not even sure what. Just to feel like you're still moving. Not because you're lazy without the work, because without it, you're not sure what you're doing here. This is especially common in people who got good at performing early. Maybe you learned that the room paid attention when you achieved something. That praise was conditional, not withheld cruelly, just tied to output. You got it when you came home with something to show, so you started always coming home with something to show. That's not a character flaw. That's a very logical adaptation. The problem is you're still running it, long past the point where anyone's grading you, long past the point where it's actually required. The performance just became the whole thing, and now the only version of yourself you fully trust anymore is the useful one. There's usually still a person underneath all the momentum who wants more than survival, because buried under all the doing is usually someone who wanted more than productivity, who wanted to be present for something, who had things they were curious about that never quite made it onto the schedule, who noticed somewhere in the last few years that they'd stopped being in their own life and started treating it like something to maintain. Even during good moments, part of your attention is already leaving early. Thinking about the next thing, the unfinished task, the thing you should probably be doing instead of this. The relationship gets quiet, not because you don't care, but because by the time evening comes, you've already given everything away at work, and there's just this residue left. You're there, you're present enough, but you're running on fumes, and everyone can tell, even if nobody says it. You reheat the same cup of coffee 3 times and never actually drink it. You sit down to watch something with someone and last 40 minutes before you pick up your phone. You say yeah and and you're not fully listening, and part of you knows it. You can care deeply about people and still arrive to them emotionally depleted every day. That's what it looks like from inside a life built entirely around output. Not indifference, just depletion. You care. You're just always behind on yourself. Some people, when they start noticing this, try to schedule the rest. Block out recovery time like it's a deliverable. Put do nothing on the calendar. That works for about a week before it starts feeling like another item to check off. Other people just start letting one thing be enough. They finish something and don't immediately open the next thing. They sit outside for a few minutes without a podcast. They let a conversation run without already thinking about what they need to do after it. Nothing dramatic, just fewer moments where your brain is sprinting ahead of your actual life. And in that gap, even a small one, something more human starts showing up again once every second isn't already spoken for. Eventually, your whole life starts orbiting around, avoiding the feeling of falling behind. Not loud fear, just the low-level kind that says, if you stop, they'll see that you were never as solid as the output suggested, that the work was covering something, that without it, you're just a person, and a person isn't quite enough. That's the thing that keeps you moving when you don't actually need to. You probably do good work. That part's real. But there's a difference between working because you want to build something and working because you don't quite trust that you're allowed to exist when you're not. One of those is sustainable. The other one, slowly, quietly, starts to cost you things you didn't realize were on the table. The relationship that got less. The friendship that faded because there was never a good time. The version of yourself that liked things for no reason, that was curious about things that had no ROI, that could just sit somewhere without needing to justify it. None of that disappeared, it just stopped getting enough room to exist. You don't have to stop being someone who works hard. You just have to find out if you're still a person when the work isn't happening. Not as a project, not as a challenge, just if you sat somewhere with nothing to do and let it be okay, what would actually be there? Most people find it's more than they expected. The life you're building, someone's going to have to actually live it. It might as well be you, fully, not just managing it from a distance while you wait to feel like you've done enough. The finish line keeps moving because the pressure was never designed to end, but you might start feeling more like yourself.